Hello and welcome to this whole new Sabbath school quarter, and welcome to lesson number 1. We're going to study the subject of faith, but in the context of what's going on in the book of Joshua. We're going to study the example of the character of Joshua and what happened with the Israelites. And maybe through that we going to learn more about what it means to have faith, what it means to be faithful, and what that could indicate for us as believers of Christ. So this is the first lesson of 13, and this lesson is called the recipe for success. And today's or this week's Bible verse, we're going to start with obviously the first chapter of the book of Joshua. In Joshua chapter 1 verse 7, only be strong and very courageous, that you may observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right hand or to the left, that you may prosper wherever you go. This is, in other words, the recipe for success. These are the words of God spoken to Joshua, that he will also hand over to the people of Israel. Moses had just passed away, and they needed a new leader to follow into Canaan for a big conquest. It's obvious that Joshua had a huge burden on his shoulders. He had to replace one of the greatest leaders of all time, of biblical history. So he had big shoes to fill, and at the same time they stood in front of a nation that was a lot stronger than themselves, because the Israelites themselves were not ready to conquer a nation or nations that was inside Canaan. So Joshua, as a leader, he had a lot on his shoulders. He had a lot to live up to, even though he was an older man at his time, around 80 years. Still, it's not easy to accept such a task, such a position as Joshua did. But this is where God comes in. He comes in at the right time, because the whole book of Joshua starts with God acting on behalf of Joshua and all the people of Israel. Because God comes to Joshua to give a message to all of Israel, but I also believe that it was also very personally to Joshua, because he says that we need to be strong and courageous, obviously, but that you may observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded you. So here we see the importance of faith, faithfulness, obedience, because obedience and faithfulness plays a huge role when it comes to this type of success that we are going to talk about. Because God gave Moses the 10 commandments. He gave all of Israelites and all of us commandments to live by. Those that come straight from God. We're not to turn from it to the right hand or to the left. We are always going, we need